Welcome back, engineers. Today we want to answer the question, what happens if you record too quietly? For instance, if a client sends you vocals peaking at -18, for instance, or a signal so small you can barely see the waveform, should you ask them to redo it, or is it fine? So here's how we're going to test it. We recorded a drum loop twice, once at peaks around -6 and then once at peaks way too low, like -28 or something like that. And you can see here, you can't even see the wave showing up, so that's how quiet it was. So let's hear what the proper levels sounds like. All right, now let's hear the wimpy levels. So now, just quieter, right? What we want to know is it just quieter, or is there some loss of quality for it being recorded too low? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to boost that signal to the point that it's just as loud as the properly recorded one. See if it sounds different. One important thing to consider is that these tests are done at 24-bit and not 16-bit. The difference between 24-bit and 16-bit is not necessarily resolution, but more so the noise floor. 16-bit will have a higher noise floor than 24-bit. So I got a gain plugin here. I've already done this just to make it faster. So if I turn that on, what I've done with this, I've just boosted it 22.6. That's about as close as I can possibly get it to the volume of the properly recorded one. So now it sounds like this. Let's play them back to back. You'll know which one is playing by which one turns blue. Did you hear a difference? The first time I did this test, I thought I heard that the second recording just lacked a bit of 3D-ness. It lacked some depth. I thought that I was losing the hi-hat behind some of the other drums when they hit at the same time, that kind of thing. So, listen again, maybe go back in the video, listen a few times, and come up with your thoughts. Because next we're going to take our perception totally out of the equation and let science speak for itself. So we're gonna do a null test. Basically, we're gonna flip the phase of one of the signals so that the only thing that we hear is the difference between the two, because everything that's the same is going to subtract from itself, essentially. I don't speak math, but you get what I'm trying to say. So this is what that sounds like. So all we hear is hiss. All we hear is noise. Let's take it a step further. Maybe we boost that up, see if we can get any drums in there at all. I'm going to take another gain plug-in. I'll just copy this one over to stereo out. We're got to be really careful with this to not blow our ears out if we take the phase shift off. But here's that boosted. I don't hear any drums in there at all. So the only difference between the two is a bit of noise floor. There's no loss of quality, no loss of detail. All of that I thought I was hearing, the hi-hat being lost, or the lack of depth, whatever, it was all in my perception. Maybe you're more unbiased than me, and you knew right off the bat that they sounded exactly the same. So what does this mean? I do believe that it's still important to record at good levels for different reasons. But what this means to me is that if you get files that are recorded too low, where you can barely see the waveform, your problem is probably not the recording levels. If it's recorded at 24-bit. Your problem's probably something else. Yeah, so meet me in the comments if you don't like the outcome of these tests, and tell me why you think something was wrong. And I'll see you guys next week. Take care.